Hi, we will start our webinar today. As this webinar is focused on to discuss about the newer futures of IBM-websphere-commerce and also talking about the future roadmap. So before we start our webinar today, let me quickly introduce myself and my team. My name is Deb and I look after the business development activities within Royal Cyber. And today we also have our speaker, Mr. Akhil Patania, the VP of Commerce Solution with Royal Cyber. Before I hand over to Akhil today, let me quickly introduce Royal Cyber as well. So we are an IBM Premier Business Partner, which commenced the business in 2002. And we are based out of Naperville, Illinois. We are 1,000+ RCNs now across the world and have global presences in US, Canada, UK, Australia, Mexico, India, and so on. And also to mention, we have won quite a number of awards from IBM for different technologies like business agility, customer integration, and digital experiences. So I would definitely like to hand over to Akhil now so that he can go ahead with the webinar session.
Thank you, Deb. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Akhil, and I'll be actually covering the agenda for today. So as the topic says, we'll be trying to understand what IBM is doing to compete against the new e-commerce platforms available in the market. We all know IBM has been in the market for a very long time, and their enterprise e-commerce platform has been the first choice for many enterprise customers for the longest of times until quite recently, when we have few other vendors in the market who are adhering to new technologies, following new architectures. So it was pretty much the time for IBM to start thinking on the same lines, and now they have promised to deliver. And we'll try to get a glimpse on what their roadmap is, what their plan is, how are they going to tackle and look into these challenges, and then solve it for their customers and themselves. So So right now, we live in the age of Amazons and Ubers. So we all know what the challenges these companies, big companies, bring to us. They have big R&D teams working for them, and they come with innovations every single day. So why Amazon is so successful? Because they now are publishing technologies. They're inventing them. They have a huge platform where they can make it into a success, and then they kind of change the whole trend of how the consumer looks into things. They change their whole business practice, their day-to-day activities. Like Alexa is an absolute example. So they launched Alexa. It was not a big success, but slowly and steadily they started marketing it along with their products. You get additional discount. And look at it today, like Alexa is one product, Google has its own product, Facebook has its own product, which is a voice assistant, so on and so forth. So they are changing the market trend, and then they are trying to use that as a platform. So they're extending their platform with these add-ons every single day. And Uber is a perfect example of on-demand services. Who could have imagined like your experiences with the taxis would be so simple and so easy, and also opening up the avenue for a normal person to actually start providing Uber services to anyone across in that area or across the world. So in today's world, innovation is the word, and IBM has to do something so that they can cope up with it and take advantage of what is already available in the market. And so we'll be looking into how IBM is going to take care of that. Personalization, everyone knows personalization is a key, but does it really work? Is it working for you? Maybe partially, maybe you're spending too much time to take care of this personalization aspect, but it's not giving you the returns that you would expect. So because like as you grow, as a company grows, as a site grows, or as a solution grows, you will have too much traffic coming in. How do you make sure that you give each and every unique customer a unique experience that they can really get attached to? It's not possible. So we have to see what we can do in this aspect so that we can win everyone's hearts, give them the experience they are looking for, or at least it should be the best that is available in the market. Data, we all keep talking about data, how important it is, but data, it's not as easy. Like you really need to understand and have the tools to comprehend what that data is telling you. So while we can capture all the data in the world using as many tools, there are Google Analytics, Adobe, IBM Tea Leaf, digital analytics, so on and so forth. But are we making full use of the data? Are we doing it manually? Are we relying on these tools itself to understand what they can tell us? And are we getting the useful insights that that we are supposed to capture? Because there is no limit on how many tools you can use. But the answer is, like, we all want that insight so that we can position our products properly, we can position our marketing strategies properly, our banners on the site properly, our advertisements properly, to get the maximum out of those ads that we are placing. So we'll also touch upon what IBM is doing in this aspect as well, because this is one of the pain points for many enterprise companies out there, and everyone is trying to look for a solution. So we'll see how IBM can handle that. Change is the only thing that keeps on happening, right? So example, maybe Pizza Hut is selling pizzas today, but you never know what they're going to do tomorrow. They might be like selling sneakers tomorrow. So change is happening at a very fast rate right now. So as long as you're not abreast to what is happening in the market, the latest and the greatest, you'll blink your eyes and you'll be left behind. So we have to make sure that the platform that we are using to host our e-commerce or host our online sales activities should have the latest trends, should support the latest technology, should be able to interact with the other solutions available in the market, because everyone else is going to be on the latest. So we need to be the latest to make use of those things which are available in the market. That brings me to the Watson Commerce. What are they planning to do this year, next year? As you guys are already aware, they are already on version 8 this year, and they are planning to launch version 9, which will be an entirely total ball game. And idea is to capture as many insights you can from the sites. So let's say if you have an e-commerce site and you have a number of products, services, digital assets, all that stuff. So you should be able to see how people are interacting with them, what data actually makes more sense to all these customers, which products are being liked by customers when they are performing a search, what products do they have to scroll down a lot to go to the product that is desirable. So all this data can be captured now thanks to technology, but we need to make sure that we are making the best use of it. So once we can comprehend all this data and line it up as per our use case, we can then define actions. And once we have defined actions, we can implement those actions, and then we can see whether those actions are giving us the returns that we planned on all the meeting rooms, so on and so forth. And we also need a platform which will allow not just the developers or the IT guys, but also the business users to define the whole workflow, like starting from capturing the insights, getting an insight into what's happening, then define the actions, and the business user should be able to define those actions themselves. And then there should be a reporting mechanism where they can go and see whether those actions gave us a good fruit or not. So that is one of the missions that IBM has with respect to Watson Commerce. So they rechristened the name from Websphere Commerce to Watson, brought a lot of different technologies on board, and that's the name that they're going to take forward. And the best part is they will be supporting with Watson services so that we get the cognitive piece into picture as well. So as I mentioned previously, IBM has been in the business for almost 2 decades now. Started around 1996 when they had their basic e-business solution available to the customers. 2000, they started getting called as e-commerce. Webster Commerce came into being. I myself have been working since version 5, so version 5, 6, 7, now 8, and now post 2015, cognitive has been the main driving force for any of the e-commerce platforms in the market. And IBM has an advantage of having Watson available to them, which can actually give any customer access, or the user or the business access to a vast amount of data which is available in the internet space, social space. So all that social noise that is available to you, you can use Watson services to filter that data, build some usable insights out of that data, and then use it to get more traffic onto your site, to convert that traffic into actionable checkouts, actionable actions, so that you can get more revenue, so on and so forth. So in this process, what IBM is doing is it's breaking down its whole e-commerce solution, which was more like a boulder previously, into individual components. Like, to put it into analogy, like from a boulder into pebbles. So now they are breaking down all the core services as a separate deployable component. So let's say if you previously just wanted, if you wanted commerce, you have to buy the whole Webster Commerce piece or Watson Commerce piece. Now selectively. So let's say if you are just interested in commerce insights, you already have some of the platform that you're working with, but you definitely see a value in commerce insights because it can tell you in real time which of your products are moving faster, which of the products are not moving as fast. You using the business tooling, you can plan your quarterly results. Like you can plan, okay, I'm going to target this much for this particular product, this much for this product category, and then see on a real-time basis how much you are getting back from the plans or the marketing activities that you have done. So Commerce Insight helps you do that. Omnicart, so like for all your customers who are using different channels, be it mobile, be it your desktop, be it your IoT devices, be it any platform, maybe Alexa enabled platform. So Omnicart gives you this functionality where if you even if you place orders from any of these channels, you go to any other channel and you'll be able to reflect those changes. You'll be able to see what you have placed from other channels as well. So that's the concept of Omnicart. Campaign automation, where you want to use this data that you have captured from Commerce Insights into actionable campaigns. So you can run these campaigns, you can automate the whole campaign, which is, so one campaign is followed by another based on whatever insights that have been captured from the email, so on and so forth. So let's say if the customer is not coming back to you, it can automatically send another campaign, do a follow-up. If someone comes back to your site after clicking on that link, it can perform another action. So everything is automated. And the best part is, like if you're on Webster Commerce or Watson Commerce platform, all of this can be automated. So you don't really have to do anything manual. Everything is automated, and that's the whole beauty about it. So we have customer analytics, real-time personalization, configuration, site search, content hub, order optimizer, store engagement, store dynamic pricing. So all these components IBM is going to make available to you as individual components. So it's totally up to you what you want to use. So that you're not actually paying for all of this, which you were doing previously. So now you will be just paying for what you need, and which kind of makes IBM solutions more compatible, more compatible in the market as compared to the other e-commerce platforms which are available. So it's all about microservices service nowadays. No one wants to have their own on-prem setup because the pricing has come so down for the cloud environment. It does not really make sense anymore to have your own prem setup unless you really have some particular requirements that you're looking for. And that is the new approach that IBM is taking too. So IBM is trying to bring down the cost further by making sure that the customers are using tools which are open source. So you do not need to really spend on the licensing of the developer environment or any of the developer tooling that you'll be using. And they'll be bringing all the different aspects of a end-to-end end-to-end solution. So be it digital marketing, online merchandising, field sales, fulfillment center, CSR functionality. All of this is available to you within Watson Commerce now. So you don't really even have to. So let's say if you're starting from scratch, you anyways have everything available to you. If you're sitting on an older version of Webster Commerce or Watson Commerce, now you can individually go and have these add-ons to support any of your business requirements. And of course, then you are also supported by the Watson Assistant, which is a cognitive piece. So we have Watson Chatbot, where it can help your customers do end-to-end checkout from your site. They don't even have to come to your site anymore. They can just go to Facebook Messenger. From there, they can talk to your chatbot, do end-to-end checkout. And what has made IBM reach to this point where they have made these decisions is like they have been listening to your customers. They have been listening to their partners. So because that is the channel from where they can get the feedback. And so they are planning to have, instead of using IBM licensed product for your team to develop the IBM solution anymore, you can actually use Eclipse, which was what RAD was based off originally. So now customers would be able to use Eclipse to develop their solutions and then deploy them. And it's another pain point was which was more of a pain point on the on-prem but not on the cloud is horizontal scaling. So let's say in the future you realize that your traffic is going to improve tenfold. You, instead of getting an upgrade for your environment, you can just keep on scaling horizontally, and you can take care of all of your web traffic and mobile traffic. So also all the enterprise solutions which are using these platforms, they are very much concerned about marketing and site conversion, because this is the focus. This is where the focus is getting to nowadays. Because even if you have, let's say, X amount of traffic, the best site conversion probably I would have heard or seen is like 5%. So we don't really know what's happening to other 95%. And that 95% itself is a huge leads that you need to build on or you need to plan on. So using effectively marketing and site conversion tools that IBM provides, we can see how we can improve the experience for the customers, make sure there's no abandoned carts, there's no broken technology on the site so that people are not able to check out, or they're facing any bad experiences. And trust me, no one gives a call. So let's say if I'm on a site, I'm trying to buy something and I get stuck somewhere, I don't think I'm going to call to a CSR. I probably will go to a competitor site, make that purchase from there and move on. So we definitely need some tools which can give us an insight into what's happening on the site, which are not being reported. And IBM Tea Leaf, CXA, they are excellent tools which can actually walk you through all the sessions as a video recording. So as a business user, you can keep an eye. So you don't really need to be dependent on the IT workforce and so forth. Also, we need business tooling which will help us to update our stores, not just on a weekly basis, but like it can be daily, hourly, or every second minute. So thanks to IBM tooling, especially the new management center, which has gotten rid of the flash component that was there previously, you can actually go to the store. You can create your own static pages. You can drag and drop widgets, see a quick preview, and make them go live. So you don't really have any dependency on the developers or the IT team. As a business user itself, you can just go and do it, and you can using that technology or that functionality on the site. Insights. So as I was previously saying, we do have a lot of data. Every company probably I work with, they have lots of data. But the question is whether they're making full use of that data or not. Are they getting the insights they're looking for? And sometimes, even though we do understand that every customer can have their own use case, or they can have their own focus point, but we need some tool which can actually give them that functionality or flexibility to find that information. Right now, whatever we have in the market, they have very very to the point reports, or like very generic reports, like how many people are coming in, these many people are spending time on this particular page, or this particular product is getting so much attention. But with Commerce Insights, you can actually go to the level where you can define your goals. You can define, okay, for product X, since it's a summer season, this product has given me good returns last season. So you can set up some goals for you, like, okay, for this product X, I'm aiming to get 100,000 in 2 weeks, and then you can compare it against how the trend is moving. So it also helps you understand which particular fulfillment is getting utilized more. So you can plan your logistics, you can plan your inventory, you can move more stuff to that particular fulfillment center which is getting empty quicker. So Insights kind of gives you that functionality, and using Watson services, you can even get some competitor data. So let's say if you're selling product X and it was really flowing out pretty fast, but suddenly comes next month or next 2 weeks, and you suddenly realize that this product is not moving as fast. So using Watson services, you can get an insight where it might tell you know what, you might have placed your product slightly at a higher cost, maybe $1 more than the competition. So it can help you to get that feedback from the social space, from the internet as well, using Watson. And then you can take actions based on that, and you can get back the traffic that you were losing because of the price fluctuation or some parameters that you're not aware of. So it's like your personal virtual assistant, which is watching over your site while you're not. Then it also gives you insight about the experiences that the customers are having. So you might see that for a particular path, the customers are more happy. There are more number of people following a particular path, and so you need to place your marketing campaigns on that particular path. You need to throw your promotions there, so it will give you those insights. It'll help you understand how people are reacting to your personalized campaigns, whether they are interacting with it, they're ignoring it. So which can help you further improve your marketing campaigns, which will also include A/B testing, personalization, and you can make them better. Now, it's not just platform anymore. It's how many platforms can you leverage on. So you can use your e-commerce as a base, and then you need to explore and even capitalize on your social platforms. And especially with the technology where we can even do a checkout from Facebook. You can do a checkout from Instagram. You can do a checkout from Facebook Messenger. So while it still leverages the e-commerce platform that you have, using the RESTful API, all these social platforms enable you now that the people can click on buy now, and in a single checkout process, they can actually do a checkout. So it can be an ad. Someone can clicks on it, automatically you are presented with a single checkout screen or a process, and they can just check out. So it's no longer just about the e-commerce, but more about how this e-commerce platform can interact with this different social platforms that we see on a daily basis. IBM has already delivered version 8, which is a lot improved version of what we used to have. One of the biggest enhancements that we saw this year was the JQuery Starter store. So if you're not aware of what jQuery is a JavaScript library, and previously IBM was using Dojo, and it was a combination of Dojo and the JSP storefront, which is more on the server side language. So with jQuery, and especially with the advent of technology, now we have desktops which have i5s and i7s, and even the mobile phones which have like quad core or hexa-core processors. It really crunches the JavaScript faster, and you kind of move that technology or that business logic away from your servers to the front end, which makes the whole experience better. You can achieve a better UI experience for the customers. It's more, so jQuery helps you build interfaces which are more close to native. So even if I'm using my mobile device or a tablet device, the fluidity that I'll get from the site will be better. Once you have more load during the peak holiday season, jQuery is in a position to handle that load in a much better way. So let's say if your JS in the previous experiences, if your JSP was giving too much, taking too much time to load and stuff, JavaScript does handle that very well. And especially with the jQuery store, we have already seen that performance difference. So we are making 3 customers go live this year on jQuery store, and we can see that performance difference right away. IBM has also included a CSR component into it. So you can actually from the store, you can buy on behalf. You can help customers in real time. Someone calls you in, your CSR team can help them right away. They can take control of their session. They can they can lock their shopping cart, add items on their behalf, then unlock their cart so that they can do a checkout. They can help them with the checkout, so on and so forth. So you don't really need a separate CSR solution to take care of your CSR needs. The CMC has been refreshed, so they are using it now, which means you can open this on any browser. You can just use it. It will not have lags that Flash used to have previously, and you also need to upgrade your Flash on a daily basis. So that has greatly improved. They have improved their catalog content management, and also introduced Watson Content Hub. So Watson Content Hub does bring a lot of unique functionalities, like you can upload your images. It also works as a CDN, but it can also automatically tag your images. So which is a very breakthrough event, I would say, because right now, especially after Google changed all the SEO rules and stuff, if your images does not have sufficient tags, it will not. So your web page will not really come up on the Google rankings. So we have to make sure that all the images that we have on the site, on the PDPs, PLPs, they are substituted with with the right tags, and then they will be pulled on the search results. So Content Hub does that automatically, and it kind of gives you additional functionality, like you can provide image search functionality to your customers, so they can come to your site, they can upload an image. Using Watson Content Hub, you can actually search for that image. So what Content Hub would do is it will look for the tags for that image, and then it will search for those tags on your site. So your customers can buy similar products on your site without even entering a single word, just with the image. So Watson Commerce Insights, it's part of Watson Commerce now. So everything is already available to you, pre-integrated. You don't have to worry about tagging your site or going with a third-party solution, then doing the integration, then checking whether your all insights are being captured or not. Easily 2-3 months. Now, Insights is available to you. You can start using it from the word go. Then we have marketing integration also available to you pre-built with IBM Marketing Cloud. That's what it was called previously. Now they're calling it Watson Campaign. So we can integrate commerce with Watson Campaign automatically using UBX, which means we can capture all the abandoned cart information from the e-commerce site, push it automatically to the campaign management side where you already have designed a campaign, and it can automatically run that campaign, do a follow-up campaign, generate all the analytics, and share it with the business user in a reporting format. So you don't really need to look into it. It can be totally automized, and you can have the report at your desk starting Monday whenever you go to office, so on and so forth. In terms of technology, technology, what IBM is planning is they are going to get rid of their existing Western Commerce architecture, which is Struct-based architecture. They are moving to more openly available technologies like Spring-based. So they'll be changing their approach, their development approach. They'll be changing their developer toolkit. They'll be changing the way they deploy the solution. So IBM is going to start with XE architecture, which means whatever changes you will be doing to your Watson Commerce setup. So all the customizations that you do, all the integrations that you do, all the additional stuff that you will do on the e-commerce site would be sitting all together in a separate container. So in the future, when you have to migrate, you do not really need to spend even a nickel on the migration, which means all your base libraries, base functionality would be replaced with the newer version, while your customizations are sitting totally decoupled in a separate container. So once you upgrade your your base, the customization will start working on top automatically, unless there's a conflict of any of the functionality. Then we'll have to see what we have to do, but you no longer have to spend even a single additional penny on your migrations now. So that's how IBM is making it easier. Your Solar would be sitting in a separate container. Your your commerce functionality would be sitting in a separate container. Your catalog management capabilities would be sitting in a different container. So everything would be decoupled, as we saw in the previous diagram. So if you just want to get rid of or disable one of the functionalities, you can just go to that component and disable it. And again, when you are migrating, let's say there's a new version of Solo Search available, you can just replace that component and you don't have to worry about any of the migrations. IBM is also trying to get rid of EJB. As we have seen, it does have some performance impact. So IBM is totally moving from EJB to JPAs. JPA is not a new technology, it's an old technology, but the way it handles the data, it's more efficient, it's more faster. So so IBM is also offering a tool. So it's going to provide a tool for all the existing customers to convert their EJBs into JPA so that they can easily migrate to the new platform as well. IBM has also developed a new application server, which is called Liberty. So IBM is making use of open source platform and then adding their own customizations to come up with this particular server, which means as a developer, you don't really need to spend anything on the VAS server. So previously you need to have a license to use it. Now you can use the free version of the Liberty application server, and then there's a paid version as well, which obviously will bring up its own additional functionalities. Like, so this Liberty server has a startup time of less than 2 seconds. So you don't really need to restart the server if you're making any changes to the commerce side. So these are all things that IBM has kept in mind so that it can lead to a minimum downtime, because a lot of our customers, they do not want to restart the server. They do not want any downtime. So once they are making any changes to the commerce side, they want changes to be to be available to the customer like in no time without any downtime. So using Liberty servers, we are able to do that because the restarts are no longer required. Also, we are moving towards the Docker concept. So all of your changes, so let's say if you want to do a deployment, and there are 14 app servers on in your deployment. So in the current scenario, it will require you to build and deploy that package on all those 14 or 20 app servers, which can take a whole lot of time. It can even take up to a whole day depending upon how many changes you're putting in. But with Dockers or the container concept, we can bring down that time to less than an hour. So we can upgrade all your 14 or 20 app servers with the new changes using Docker in less than an hour. And guys, all these things are available with us as demo. So if you want to look at the demo, you can always reach out to us and we can arrange for those demos too. The developer tools, IBM is moving to open source. So now you'll be able to use Eclipse to do all your commerce development. You don't really need to invest on developer licenses, whether it's Mac, it's Linux, Windows, everything is supported. IBM is going to make it easier for the business user as well. Obviously, they are the main people you need to keep happy, right? So now you'll be able to set up product images in a much easier fashion, and especially with the Watson Content Hub coming. Right now, it's supporting only image uploads and attachments, but it is going to be a fully blown content composer as well. So it would be replacing or commerce composer functionality we have on commerce Watson Commerce right now. It is a good tool to have, which allows the business users to define their own layouts, their own templates, static pages or dynamic pages, and then publish that on the site. With the Watson Content Hub, what they will be able to do is they will be able to actually design the whole site altogether. So it's more like in between IBM DX and Commerce Composer. So it's right in the middle. So with using this, it will give you all functionality that a CMC tool could have, a content management tool, and it can just work for you. It will also help you work with the workflow, so you can define workflows, assign it to the team members, audit the work, how it's done before you want to go live. Omnicart, again, irrespective of the fact which platform your customer is using to add products to the cart, they will be able to see those things across all the various channels available, be it desktop, mobile, IoT. It can be Alexa, it can be any channel, and all those updates will be available across all the channels. B2B does not have subscription right now, so IBM is going to include subscription as part of a B2B portal as well. I know one of the main pain points any of our customers have is like all of administration tooling is only supported on Internet Explorer. So that is going to go away with the version 9 or with the XE architecture. We will be able to use IBM tools across all the browsers. So that pain would be taken away from you. And then again, insights are available to you. You can set up your own goals and then try to meet them. In case you're not able to meet them, you have tools like CXA, TLEAF to understand why you are not able to meet them. And in then when you set up the new goals for yourself, you can take care of those things, fix those problems, and set some new goals for yourself. Cloud strategy. Originally IBM was on-prem, then they came into the single tenancy model. Now IBM has introduced multi-tenancy model as well, starting this year. They had some demos last year, but this year they have gone all guns blazing into the market. We are currently supporting one customer who's on multi-tenant. We are supporting one customer who's on single tenant. The difference, we'll talk about it. It's very straightforward. So look at single tenancy as on-prem setup, but on the cloud. So where you have a unique access to each of those servers involved, like VAS, Commerce, IHS. So you have a full control of all these servers. A multi-tenant setup kind of takes that unique control from you away, where you might have access only to the store that you have published or that has been published for you. You may not have a greater control on the whole architecture, but just just the product that you have signed up for. So in single tenancy, it supports clients who have, it's more like IBM private cloud, if you will. So you have complete access to everything, just like on-prem, it's just on the cloud. And it also gives you flexibility of horizontal scaling. So let's say in the future you see, or you see that during the holiday season last year you had more traffic. So you can include additional computing power, for the holiday period alone. And once you're done with it, you can just release. So which will help you reduce your infrastructure cost, your IT cost, and IBM can take care of the monitoring and all that stuff for you. With multi-tenant, you do not really have much control on it. For everything that you interact with IBM, you will have to raise tickets, PMRs, and they will work on your behalf. So whether it's deployment or implementation, you will have to correspond with the IBM team, and based on what you want to do, they will be taking care of it. The benefit of multi-tenant is like all the latest and the new technology that will come to multi-tenant first. So all the new enhancements they will be doing, and all these technology will automatically flow into this multi-tenant architecture. So let's say IBM comes with a new advancement or a new feature, it will automatically flow into the multi-tenant. For single tenant, it is something that we'll have more control on, like we can tell when we want to do it. For multi-tenant, you'll get a notification from IBM that, for during this and this period, we'll be making this upgrade, so on and so forth. So it will be more in line with that. But yeah, you'll be totally up to date if you're on multi-tenant. On-prem is a lot of customers still prefer to do that. If they have invested heavily on the infrastructure, they want to continue using it, and that's perfectly fine. IBM does have two different modes of licensing available on this, PVU, which is processor based, and RVU, which is order based. So based on what the customer requirement is. But the good news is that the on-prem is also supported by Watson Commerce, so you'll still have access to all the cognitive technology that Watson brings on board, so you can continue to keep using it. Integration roadmap, IBM will be integrating IBM CPQ, OMS, dynamic pricing, commerce insights, marketing integration, all of that into a single platform. And then using UBX, we can plan all our campaigns based on what the customer is doing on the site, what is their behavior. We can have targeted emails that will go to them, and then follow-up emails, so on and so forth. And then So yeah, so everything will be available to you on the same platter. So you don't have to worry about who is going to take care of particular use case. Do I need to interact with some other vendor, a different company to handle these requirements or not? So everything will be taken care by IBM for you on the same platform. On multi-talent tenant, so they have kind of it's broken down into six steps. So they will so let's say if you are sitting on-prem and you want to make use of these technologies, so we can start with Docker. So let's say move all of your on-prem setup into a Docker container, which also makes it more portable and for you to maintain on the on-prem setup as well. So we can start moving from your on-prem, move all these components into a Docker. Then we can start looking into how we can move your content management to meet your latest customer needs. So customer needs are going to change like every month, every single day, because if there's new technology available in the market, customer wants to make use of it, right? So we have to reimagine how we need to do that. So we need to have that strategy in place. We need to understand, like if you're moving to the cloud, how we are going to take care of the data, because we might have some data which needs to be complied with the particular regulation, like HIPAA if we are into the insurance side or the health side. So we need to make sure that the data that we are moving to the cloud, whether it needs to be whether it needs to comply to a certain guideline or not. And if yes, our IBM platform is HIPAA compliant if we follow the best industry practices and the guidelines set by IBM. So mostly all the guidelines are satisfied by IBM platform. Then we need to understand like in which geography we need to host this solution, because we might want our solution to be available in the Americas, or maybe if I am an Australian customer, I would like to have my infrastructure available in the Australian region. So we need to plan that too. And then we need to understand what the new platform is bringing on board. So if you are familiar with Aurora, Aurora was launched by IBM. It's store in and Feature Pack 5 and Feature Pack 7. They changed the architecture, made it more faster, more digitally enhanced. And now with version 8, they have launched the JQuery version of the same Aurora store. So let's say if we are sitting on an older version and we are going to do a migration to multi-tenant, we need to understand that we have to move to Aurora. So we need to plan our strategy in that fashion. And once we move to the cloud or multi-tenant or single tenant, we also will have additional functionalities that Watson Commerce brings. So we can always leverage and see which of these functionalities can replace whatever we have been using on-prem. So that you get all the services on the same platform from the same vendor at the best price and the best experience there is. Single tenancy and on-prem, they have an annual release cycle. So any changes happening, it would be quarterly or yearly basis. Multi-tenant, so if you want to tie up with IBM, it's a kind of a 4 to 5 year engagement. And as I mentioned, the changes will come in as and when they make those changes, they will flow into your platform. So IBM with the Watson Commerce, IBM is trying to re-question what our needs are, so that it's more easier for us to understand what we want, whether we want to focus on marketing, we want to focus on commerce, or we want to focus on supply chain. And it kind of binds everything together, so you do not really have to worry about the integration, or you do not have to really worry about what additional solutions would be required for your story to be a success story. So that's what the power of Watson is, and that's what IBM is going to offer us in the future roadmap. Where can you see all these demos? As I mentioned previously, as a IBM Premier Partner, Royal Cyber is proud to have all these demos available to us locally as well. So feel free, let us know when you want to see these demos, what interests you, what you want to further elaborate on, and we'll be more than happy to assist you with that. If you want to see the demos directly with IBM, IBM is available, and we are also available in all these conferences. You can always stop over to a booth, get a quick look at what's new, what's latest, what are the new products, and we'll be more than happy to oblige. Here's a quick look at our current customers that we are working with, and 3 of them we are moving to JQuery Aurora Store, making them go live this year. And yep, so I'm going to open this up for any questions and answers you might have. Feel free to ask me any questions, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. So I guess I did a pretty good job then, right? So thanks so much, guys, for joining, and please feel free to drop us any note, any email for any further clarification, or if any of the technology you are interested in, and we'll be more than happy to give you a demo or talk with you regarding it. Thank you so much once again. You guys have a lovely rest of the day.